What's up, Airsofters? This is the all-new EMG Archon Type B gas blowback pistol. And if you're anything like us, you've been waiting for these bad boys to come out, and they're finally here. So let's take a dive into these and really show you why we're so excited and why they're so highly anticipated. Now, this is a pistol that began development back in 2012. It changed names a few times and has finally come to the American market in early 2020 as the Archon Type B. And thanks to a partnership between EMG and Archon, Airsofters can get their own officially licensed replica of this next generation pistol. The real Archon Type B has been making waves in the firearms community for being a pistol with a lot of very functional features. Of course, this is personal opinion, but the Archon Type B, to me, is quite the looker. And these looks, while not for everyone, portray a design philosophy that blends form and function. From the multi-directional checkering on the grip to the prominent notch in the front, every surface and facet of this handgun serves a purpose. Speaking of the notch, let's get this out of the way so we can talk about some of the other amazing features of the Archon Type B. The notch here is to help with press checks. Now, that's when you only move the slide back partially so that you don't eject around in a real firearm. But this isn't something you can really do in Airsoft, but the faithful reproduction of this feature enhances and improves your training experience. Other than that notch, this pistol sports pick rails on the front bottom for lights and lasers, and a fiber optic front sight that pairs with competition style rear sights to give you a really crisp sight picture. It's not really until you hold this pistol and look down the sights until you realize how thick or wide the slide really is. While the pistol is about as long as a Glock 17, and I have one here for comparison, as you can see, they're about the exact same length. The slide is wider by almost 1/4 of an inch. Hopefully you can see what I'm seeing. But the truth is, it doesn't really feel oversized when you're handling it. We asked a couple of our small gloved associates to try this out and tell us if that extra width impeded performance or gave them any discomfort. And everyone agrees it is very comfortable. Like many popular pistols of today, the frame is polymer. This one, however, is unique. It has these unique and aggressive slopes that are angled in different directions to help the shooter control the recoil of the pistols. And the directionality of each one of these aggressive pieces of the pattern aid in a tighter grip and better control of the real firearm. It helps you to control recoil as well as giving you a positive grip even when you're wearing gloves or your hands get sweaty. There are also these little bits of checkering at the front end of the frame to give you index points for your trigger finger and your offhand thumb. As far as controls are concerned, this is about as simple as it gets. You've got a trigger, a mag release, and a slide lock or slide release, and that's it. Honestly, it's the ideal control scheme. Anything more than this and you're just playing with it. The trigger not only looks really cool and is very comfortable ergonomically, but it also has a safety that functions in a familiar Glock style, but unique way. If you press up at the top, it won't budge. But if you press more towards the middle and the lower portion of the trigger where your trigger would usually, your trigger finger would usually ride, the whole trigger shoe swivels, which you can see here. That swiveling action allows the safety to disengage and then allows you to pull the trigger back. Really, I think this is better than having one of those stupid little tabs in the middle of the trigger. They're uncomfortable and they really don't work all that well. This is a nicer design and looks a lot better. The slide lock and slide release is perfectly suited for right-handers. Unfortunately, that means left-handers are kind of out in the wind. I'm sorry. That part is not ambidextrous. The magazine release, however, can be swapped from left to right with only one tool. And that tool comes included with the gun, right in the box. Right here. No, you don't need an Allen to swap your mag release from left to right. Use your magazine. All you do is take your magazine and insert it into the frame backwards. Once you've done that, simply press up on it until you hear a nice click, and then you can press the mag release right out of the back side. Then I can swap it to my left side, like so, I can release the magazine, and the mag release functions for left-handers, just like that. Simply swapping it back, press that up, pull that out, swap that over, pull the mag release works on the right-hand side. Now, if that's not awesome engineering, I don't know what is. Let's talk about the back of the pistol. This is where you've got some really unique features that might look a little different from other striker fired designs that you're used to. The substantial beaver tail actually curves down at the back, preventing slide bite by restricting your hand from jumping up into the path of the slide. Lastly, let's talk about the markings on the Archon Type B, because as cool as the features are, it wouldn't be anything without trademarks, would it? So, you see a really nice Type B here, the Archon Firearms across the slide, and you've got some additional trademark down here on the pistol grip itself. One thing I did want to bring up is that, true to the real firearm, it says that it will fire without a magazine. This is Airsoft, people. That's simply not possible. The unique features don't just stop with the externals. This has some really cool functionality built into the mechanism that perfectly replicates the real firearm version, so it's worth checking out the internals. Let's head over to the disassembly table and show you how unique the internals are. Let's take a look at how this bad boy comes in the box. First, the box. Simple, elegant, the Archon logo right on the front. Upon removing the cover, you'll see both the pistol and its magazine presented both in protective film and cradled in injection molded plastic. If you're looking for the EMG warranty card, it may be underneath the plastic, so don't forget to remove that just in case you forget something. To take the Type B apart, all you need is a pen or Allen key to push the captive pin out. And since it's a captive pin, you don't need to worry about losing it. And that's a really nice touch. Then the slide comes off the front just like most other Airsoft pistols. The hop-up can be adjusted with a 1.5mm Allen key in this opening. Sadly, as of the recording of this video, an Allen key is not included in the box. The pistol accurately replicates the lockup mechanism of the real thing. Instead of a tilting barrel, it uses the falling block design that they have designated the AF-Speedlock. Aptly named, I might say. This means the barrel stays level with the frame, which improves accuracy. As you can see, we are outside in our outdoor testing facility, and I've got the gorgeous Archon in my hands. Now, first things first, let's talk about grip comfortability. Not only is this really easy to get a sight picture on, but the stippling or texturization on the grip itself make it really comfortable to use, right and left-handed. Before I shoot some rounds, I think it's worth noting that yes, you can power stroke and hammer a mag home. Let's shoot some rounds. Now, one of the first things you might notice is the low bore axis. And if you're unfamiliar with what a low bore axis is, it can be hard to see how this is much different from other standardized pistols. What low bore axis means is the relationship of the bore of the barrel in relation to the placement of your hand. And because of the very unique and well done cuts on the Archon Type B, your hand placement is much higher in relation to the barrel than other pistols, keeping your recoil from firing much more controllable and in a linear fashion as opposed to a rotational fashion. So when shooting, you see the pistol stays very flat. Speaking of getting a sight picture, it's really easy to get a sight picture, and that is thanks in part to the Glock compatible sights. So if you wanted to swap these out, you can of course swap them for Glock style Airsoft sights. Next thing we got to discuss is this awesome trigger. Now, 9 times out of 10 in Airsoft, triggers do not feel like the real thing. And that's because you're not dealing with an explosive real round. But careful attention was paid to the trigger on the Archon to make sure that not only did it have nice take up, but a definite wall. And that wall requires a bit of effort in order to break that wall, giving you a nice crisp trigger feel, which in my opinion is one of the nicer triggers on the airsoft market as far as gas blowback pistols go. It's real repeatable. I'd say the only thing I'd like to be a little bit more pronounced is the reset. So let's go ahead and see if we can see that happen. So take up, wall, snap, reset, snap, reset, and there's your wall. Now you can let it go all the way out and then re-experience that take up, but it's real easy to find that reset and follow up shots.
Nope, 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 nope.
I should probably be more accurate with it. Like with all of our outdoor shooting, we're gonna do an accuracy test. I've set up a target 20-25 feet away, and we're gonna go ahead and put some rounds down range. Now then, you know, it's funny, I just went to press check this, and I know it's an airsoft gun, and maybe it's out of habit for shooting real firearms, and it's something that I do instinctually to see if I have a round in the chamber. Now, while that in airsoft is kind of pointless, it is really nice that the included groove to allow you to press check more easily is included on the Archon Type B. And if you're using this for training, it's a really nice way to continue your training regimen even with an airsoft pistol. Can I tell that there's a BB in the chamber doing this? No. Does it make me feel cool? Yes, it does. Shoot some rounds. Ten rounds, and because I hadn't filled the magazine, it locked back beautifully when it was done shooting. Let's take a look a little closer and see how we're doing. With the caveat, we're using green gas and 0.20 gram BBs. And on a windy day like it is here in California today, 2.0s may be a little bit light for your outdoor games. So if you're playing outdoors and it's a little bit windy, you might want to bump that up to 2.5s or 2.8s, which with the adjustable hop up is a breeze for the Archon Type B. Let's take a look at the target. As you can see, my first shot was a little low, and admittedly that's because I didn't use the sights at all. I went off muscle memory. But once I decided to actually use the sights that are included with the Archon Type B, I was right on target, delivering the remainder of the 8 rounds minus 1 outlier right in the A zone. And that means at 20 to 25 feet, we're going to be engaging most people most often with an uncleaned barrel and no hop-up adjustment done out of the box. You've got really good accuracy, which means your performance can only get better from here. Did I mention this trigger feels amazing? Let's do the Chrono Test. We're going to do our Chrono Test, but before we get to that, I wanted to bring you in a little bit closer and show you one feature that I hadn't really gotten into yet, and that's this ridge on the back side of the grip, just underneath the beaver tail. This ridge is designed to actually press between your thumb and forefinger and cause your grip to tighten throughout the recoil travel of the real Archon Type B. Now in airsoft, there's not enough recoil to really make a difference there, but on first glance, you might think that that would be uncomfortable. And to be honest, it took a day or two to get used to after firing. But once you're used to that groove being there, it's like it's not even there. And it increases your grip strength on a pistol that really is like a laser going out of this. So, 2.0s in the mag, green gas in the mag. Let's do a Chrono Test. You know, with an FPS around 300 on green gas, excellent ergonomics, awesome texturization, changeable sights, beautiful design, and accuracy that could make other pistols jealous. This really is the airsoft sidearm we've all been waiting for. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got some more targets to shoot down. If you want to follow more of what we're doing here at Evike.com, make sure you follow us on social media on our Facebook and Instagram, as well as right here on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button and the bell icon to be notified of our latest videos. As always, stay safe, stay healthy, keep playing airsoft. See you guys later.